Do you find yourself searching through your fabric stash for the perfect coordinates? Do you strive to be more confident in your color combinations? If you answered yes or just love fabric, then a subscription to Goodies Color Club is for you. Goodies Bundle Club is a quarterly subscription program with carefully curated fabric bundles by me sent right to your doorstep. I handpick every fabric in each delivery with 12 half-yard pieces, which will only be available to Goodies Bundle Club members. In addition to an exclusive Stash Builder bundle, each delivery includes a booklet of information on the fabrics I have chosen, the fabric designer, additional fabric suggestions to use with the bundle, and quilt patterns that would be a perfect pairing with the fabric. Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to my live show, Tipsy Tuesday. Hey everyone, thank you for being with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, we want to be engaged this whole time, so make sure you keep commenting throughout the show. Send us thumbs up and hearts, and of course, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, just hit that red YouTube button if that's where you're watching, and click the bell as well. Bell as well. That's I rhymed. Look at that. And then if you're on Facebook, make sure you like our page, and then you can sign up for notifications so you never miss a show. You want to stick around until the end because we have a giveaway question for you for a $25 gift card every single show. So thank you all for being here. Make sure you say hi in the comments, introduce yourself to all of our friends. We love to chat throughout the show. Mr. HP is here running the show, of course. Say hi. Did we fix your angle? Not as messy back there. Okay, I love it. So of course, today we have a great show planned for you. Part 2 of our strip along for 2023. That's our strip twist that we're working on. So today I'm going to give you loads and loads of tips on how to do that partial seam method. I've got little tricks, and so that's going to make it really, really painless. I also have some great new fabrics to show you and some updates on other things. So welcome, welcome all. But let's start with our giveaway from last show. Our giveaway question was, have you done a mystery quilt before? And our winner is... Who's our winner, Mr. HP? Oh, Kathy Kitchen. Kathy, congratulations. $25 gift card is yours, so make sure you send us an email to help@gequiltdesigns.com to claim your reward. And Kathy's answer was no mystery quilt ... yet. I like that answer because I hope you are joining us for our London Calling mystery block of the month a little bit later this year. So I wanted to kick it off with just giving you an update. Of course, our Bundle Club, Goodies Bundle Club, our quarterly subscription program. We shipped all of the bundles out last week, as if you're a subscriber, you may have gotten yours already. Now, and I know some of you are already playing with it because we are seeing your orders come in for some of the coordinates and extra fabrics. And so I will be revealing this month's Bundle Club on Friday, not today, on Happy Friday show this coming Friday. So those of you subscribed, I just wanted to remind you though to watch my tips video. There is a QR code kind of on the second to last page of your little booklet. There's a QR code, scan it and watch the introduction video, all my little tips on the line, because some of the questions we're getting in our email are going to be answered there. So if you're interested in Goodies Bundle Club, we do have some spots available. They are going fast because there was a lot of interest. And so if you do join us now, you pay for actually April's shipment. So you will get the April bundle, and then your next charge won't be until July. So every 3 months, we have a wonderful Bundle Club shipment. It's really fun for me because I try and change it up. Those of you not familiar with Bundle Club, there's never going to be a seasonal line, so no Halloween, Christmas, or anything like that. I try and include just very generic lines. I change the style because that's just how I like to roll. So there's sometimes going to be more on the traditional side, sometimes more on the modern side, because I do straddle those that line a lot myself, and so I like so many different things. So hopefully there's always going to be something for everyone. And so I'm excited for you to see this one. It's a favorite. It's always a favorite. The newest one is always a favorite. So check it out. Also wanted to answer some questions on our London Calling block of the month. Now, last week we opened up reservations for the fabric kit. And so we've been getting some emails. So let me just take you through that. So all you do now is make a reservation for the fabric kit. It costs $10, which of course then will be deducted from the bundle price or the kit price when we are ready to ship it. But what you also are doing by reserving now is you're securing a $20 off of your kit price. The kit includes all the fabric that you will need for this block of the month quilt, which is an 84 by 86 inch quilt. Backing as well. And as always, when I do a mystery quilt kit, I include a lot of extra fabric just because we are working on this for over a year, and some of the fabrics in this kit I have curated myself. They're going to be special order fabrics that you won't be able to just go to any store and pick up. And I'm not going to be revealing all of them until we have the fabric in house, but I'm going to show you the backing fabric. The backing fabric is very unique, and I love this because we have, of course, the King's coronation coming up on May 6th, I believe. So this print is actually, I had them make it a larger scale for me. It's very similar to the coronation line. This is all by Lewis and Irene. All the fabrics in the kit are by Lewis and Irene, which is a UK-based fabric company. Wonderful, beautiful fabrics. Have a lovely hand. So this is a larger scale perfect for that backing. And so those of you that have asked, will we be able to purchase just the backing? And I'm going to say this, possibly. So here's the deal. Whenever we order special order fabric, I will, of course, order extras, but our focus is going to be on the full kit. So if we do have some leftover of the backings, we will be able to list those separately. But the only way to really secure it is to purchase the whole kit. And I know it's a lot of fabric, and we may be able to break things down once the fabric kits are ready to ship as far as payment, but that is going to be, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. The one thing that you can do now is do the reservation for $10. If you, it's a non-refundable reservation, so if you do decide when the fabric is ready to ship that you are not going to do it, it's all good. You just don't get the $10 back. So any questions? Do you see any other questions? I think I've kind of answered all of them. There will be thread, yes. So just hold off on that, but we're going to have a thread set to go with this one too. We're still a long ways away. And again, this is just the fabric. You can still participate in this Block of the Month program and not buy the fabric. You can pick your own fabric. So we won't release the pattern and digital package to purchase until July. And in July, and that's when you will receive kind of the sheet with all of the colors, the fabric colors. So if you wanted to put together your own kit from your stash or whatever, you can definitely do that. When we launch the digital package, we always have it at a special price, so you can purchase the whole thing. But if you want to just purchase month by month, you can always do that as well. So there's all kinds of options, and I'll explain a lot better about that. But I honestly think that, in my opinion, when I used to own a quilt shop and do Block of the Months, I always hated how much money was kind of wasted on cutting fabric for one block and then shipping it. So you're having shipping costs for 13 months. And then the fabric doesn't get as usable when you are cutting it for each month. So this is why I have always just sold the full kit, and then you can really reserve your fabric, and then also you're not shipping it every month, so you're saving a lot of money. I've seen a lot of Block of the Months out there for $30, $40 a month, and you end up with a quilt that costs you $800, $900. So I love that. Saving on shipping, saving fabric so that you have more usable leftovers, for sure. The quilt's behind me. Yeah, let's talk about that. We have strip twists on each side because that's our strip along. We have 2.0 on this side and the original on this side. Behind me, I finished my quilt top. It's not quilted yet, but that's my Ava quilt made with the storyboard fabric from Seth Apter by Free Spirit Fabrics. Of course, this fabric is not in-house yet. I've been talking about this for a month or so. I was lucky enough to be chosen as one of their influencers to make something with it before it came out. But we have it as a pre-order. You can secure yourself a bundle of this beautiful fabric. So, oh, Martha, thank you. I love how you think of us quilters to save us money. I'm a quilter myself, so it's all based on how I like to think. But I appreciate you recognizing that. It's always my thought. We always want to provide the best values this way. When does it start? So we will kick it off in October is when the first block will be released. We're anticipating the fabric coming in sometime in early September. So we'll be able to ship all the kits out to everybody and be ready to go in October. And so it's a 13-month program. So we'll finish in November, right before Christmas, 2024. So it's a really fun. If you haven't done either, if you didn't do Stroll in Paris or Christmas in Europe, these Block of the Months are so much more than just making a quilt. You kind of get to travel through the city of London with me and really look at the places with a different mindset and a different eye. So it's going to be really a lot of fun. All right, let's move on to our remnant bag special. We launched this remnant bag special in honor of Earth Day. So it's buy one, get one free, and they were also lowered to $19.99. $19.99. So for that price, you get 2 bags. The bags are a pound of fabric, which adds up to about 3 yards of fabric. So it's an amazing deal. We sold out really actually quite fast, which was surprising to us because we had a lot. But fear not, we are working on some more. So the special goes through the end of the month. So we are going to make more, and we're going to list them. And if you want to make sure you don't miss out on that, make sure you go to that product page. I have a link in the description of the video. Click on that. You will go to the product page, and it will say sold out. But there's a box there that says notify me. You just type in your email. And then whenever it gets relisted, you will get an email telling you that we have it back. So, so that is... we're working on it. We've had so much fun putting these together. So much fun. It's I was all day. I was doing this all day yesterday and this morning. Yeah, it's just been a blast. It's been, for me, it's like, I don't know, like a kid in a candy store to putting together all these little bundles. So that is hopefully coming, most definitely coming back. Also coming back is the national parks, the large panel I showed you last week. That one, it's a 2-yard by 60 wide panel. It's amazing. You can use it for a back of the quilt or just quilt it. You can cut them out. You can do all kinds of things. And so this one is coming back. And so if you want to secure yourself one, and I know I got the rest of it. I know it's now back ordered. So if you want to secure one, again, sign up for that notifications. We're hoping to get this in by the end of early next week. Hopefully. All right. Oh, that's awesome, John. Thank you for doing that. I always appreciate you sharing the love, you know, spreading the gospel, as we say. Those of you that really enjoy what the ruler can do for you and what the ruler can do, period. When you share, I think you pass the love. You pass the love to others, and you create the joy on another side. Thank you for the towel pattern demo last week. I'm making a bunch for our quilt show for Ways and Me's. That's great. So yeah, I have some. I showed you, check that out. A really quick demo on Friday on how you can use toweling and make the tops. Now you can of course purchase dish towels and make the top for it to hang over a bar. Really easy and fun to do. I guess we sold a lot of our toweling. There's some little bits left, but it was quickly gone, and hopefully we'll get some more in when we get closer to fall, and we can do some fun holiday gifts. But it's a great way to get going on holiday gifts. And you want to buy lots of old-time rulers. I love that. We won't tell anybody we said old-time rulers, but that's okay. I love that. All right, one more update for you. The perfect pairing boxes, the Mother's Day edition. We are almost sold out. They're now being packaged, and if you ordered one, you will maybe see a shipping notification. Just know that it might not start moving yet. So we are preparing them, so we print the labels, the shipping labels, but we're going to hold them all, and they're all going to get picked up at the same time. So just know that if you see a shipping notification and you start tracking it, it may not move for a couple of days. So I just wanted to tell you that. So don't panic if you don't see it moving. We always told everybody it's going to ship on May 1st. So once they're all ready, if they do get ready before May 1st, we are going to release them. But May 1st is probably going to be the day where they all get picked up and start moving and making its way to all of you. All right. Any questions on that? Best ruler ever. I completely agree. I love that. Thank you all for that. So with that being said, are we ready for our segment? Some tips? Yeah? Our strip along, of course, is part 2. So let's dive right into our strip along and tip of the day. All right, so hopefully all of you got your strip sets subcut. If you are just catching us now and don't know what we're talking about, this strip along, check our previous episode last week with the part 1 of the strip along. So this is the quilts that we're making. The first 2 in the back there are the original versions of Strip Twist, and then we have the Strip Twist 2.0 there, featured front and center. Part 1 was on the 18th, part 2 is today. And remember, we're skipping a week. We're giving you plenty of time to catch up. For part 3 is May 9th, and then we'll party and show some fabulous Strip Twist quilts on the 16th. So we're going to start. I'm just going to start by showing you guys a demo here on the overhead, and I'm going to show you a little video. But so what we do with the units that we got pieced before. And I'm sure you had all your units ready. So that would be 4 of the same units. And then your square, that's going to be your center square. So I'm going to take you through that so I had all these organized together. So I'm going to take you through just putting together one block. And then I'm going to give you some tips on how I like to chain piece these so that we can get through it a little bit faster. So the first one is placing that you take your strip pieced unit and your center square, you place it on, I like to place it on this bottom right corner like this, aligning the raw edges, and make sure that you are placing it along the skinny strip, not on the outer strip. Believe me, I'm just telling you this twice, and if I tell you something twice, that means I've done it multiple times. Sewed it to the other side. Not that you couldn't do that, you just come up with a different type of block. So in the pattern it will tell you to start sewing in the middle of the square and then sew all the way down. So my first tip is going to be that you can, in my experience, is start a little bit above the center. So if our center of the square is approximately here, I kind of go 3/4 in. 2/3 to 3/4, and I start a little bit, so I sew a little bit more than half, and I stitch all the way down. Can you see that? So that is my first tip. Do a little bit over half. So now you'll see that part of this is not sewn, so we have the partial seam this way. And as I'm making these blocks, I like to finger press, just finger press as I go, and I'll show you that a little bit later. But the biggest thing you want to do, make sure that you're always pressing away from the center square, away from the center square. So I push this back, and you can, if you want to, use if you have an iron next to your sewing machine. Otherwise, I just finger press, and I'm ready to add the next unit. So this one is half sewn. So that means that this whole side is now all the way sewn and ready for the next piece. So I take my next piece and I'm ready to add it to this side. I will just align the top, and sometimes if you feel like this doesn't get pressed out enough, I sometimes pin the bottom so I can really kind of pull it taut and make sure I sew this side down. So then we are here. I sewed this side, here we are. And now we're going to press this one again away from the center square. Away from the center square. So again, you will see that here's our partial seam, and we just sewed this one on. So now we're going to continue around the circle counterclockwise and sew this side. So this one is now fully ready to be sewn. So take my third piece. And again, making sure that I'm sewing the skinny side. Sew all the way through, and then press this out. And now we are here. This one is sewn. And it's time to add our fourth one to this side. And then this is where you will see that this is kind of hard to sew it on. So we just take this partially sewn one and flip it back. And then you have full access to this fourth side. And I place that on. and I stitch all the way down. And this way, press outwards, and now we are here. So this one is sewn and this one is still flipped back. So the final step is to fold this one back and finish that seam down. Now here's a couple of tips that are going to be very, very important. So first off, you want to place this under your sewing machine. And I don't know if you can see my seam. I'm going to color it so you can see it. So this is my seam that's already down here. And because I started a little bit above the center, my seam comes further down. So this is why it's helpful to have it that way, because otherwise your seam will be right in that crease. So I put this under my sewing machine, and the first thing I do is just pop my needle before I put my foot down. I place my needle right on the seam, like a few stitches in. So 3-4 stitches in, I pop my needle in here, and then I put my foot down. Because it's really hard with that fold to try and get the foot to land in the right place. So put your needle down first, and then your foot down. Then I like to pin this bottom just to keep them straight. And then you just sew all the way down, and then you press, and then you have your beautiful strip twist blocks ready. Now if you just finger pressed, then all you have to do, so here I have one that is just finger pressed, and then all you're going to do is finish with pressing it. So I'm going to show you a little trick first before I talk about the pressing on how you can really chain piece these blocks. So how I do that, I usually do work on 3 or 4 at a time. You could do more than that, so I just align the little stacks on the side. So on the side of my sewing machine that I can kind of stay organized like this. So if I'm going to do 4 blocks, I have my 4 piles of block pieces, and then I'm ready to sew them all in kind of a chain piecing motion. So let's just check out this video. I sped it up a little bit. I just took this today, so I sped it up, so I'm going to talk you through it. I placed that square on the first one and sew just that square. So then you just want to make sure that you place it the next one into the little bit over half and stitch that down. Then I clip from the back side. I do my finger pressing and I go through this like this. I always just clip from the back. So you could do more than 4. I got 3 right there. So you piece all of them by just keeping the same motion, clipping from the back, and then grabbing from those squares or those stacks on the side where you have everything organized. I tend to, if I do too many blocks, things tend to kind of get lost or misplaced, and then you spend more time looking for the right piece rather than getting them done. So this is the 4th and last piece being added right there. And so you can see it goes pretty fast and smooth. The only putsy part would be that last part. And you can see when I get to that last seam, after I finger press this one, then you just really have to place it over. I do my pin on the bottom, and then I pop my needle right in the right place first, put my foot down, and then sew to the end. And it's really worth it to do it this way. So I hope you like that chain piecing. So that's my little tip on the chain piecing, but I wanted to share with you, if you wanted to try and do just the pressing in the end. Of course, I just have a little demo here. Just don't worry, my iron is not hot. It is, it's off, because you never want to iron with your cutting mat anywhere. So you can, if you want to, If you feel like you're not getting a good enough finger press, you can, of course, have an iron right next to you. If you are lucky enough to have a little travel iron, you can, of course, press as you go. So then you just want to make sure that first piece, I always fold it out with my fingers and then just set it and then keep going like this, and you can iron it after every step. So that would be after you clip from the back, you iron it before you sew the next one on. But I honestly like to just do it in the end. And so I'm going to show you a little. So here's an unironed block. And so what it will look to you is that it's really crooked in the middle because things are sewn and not pressed. So we got to be just a little careful when we are pressing these. So I always start by just pushing this one out with my fingers. And then as I press, whether it is with a small iron or even my large one, just to be pressing one seam at a time, just going straight across here, and then I twist it, making sure I push this out and going straight across, turn, just pressing that one seam, and then the last one, and then once you have it, all four of them pressed out, you can really push it out and give the whole block a good press. So, but I individually press each seam first, because if you're going to just plop an iron on this whole thing, you're going to get a lot of creases and your center is going to stay crooked. All right, let's take some questions. Yes, I see right away there was a comment that partial seams are not hard. They just take a little bit longer. They do, but not a lot. Not a lot. They're a little putzier, but it's really cool to get a unit like this that, you know, you can't do any other way. Unless you would have an extra seam somewhere. So we don't want that. The fabric line, this one that I'm using is called Timberline. It's a bundle, so I used all the fabrics from the bundle. It has some light fabrics that I used for the skinny strips, and then it has these beautiful greens and teals, and then they had this beautiful center. So that's the one I used for those blacks. Have you thought about making a travel case for your rulers to take to retreats? Absolutely. Just keep watching our show throughout the year and you'll see something. You'll see something pretty phenomenal, so just be patient. Okay, do you backstitch on the partial seam? I do not, because as I told you, you want to put your needle down like 2-3 stitches in, so that counts as backstitching. I feel no need to have to backstitch because you're just doing these 4 seams. It's not like you're going to be working that block a lot, so they're not going to really pop. Is it okay to press as you go? Yes, absolutely. Like I said, if you, for example, have one of those little travel irons, love this one of the Steam Press or Steam Fast. If you have that next to your sewing machine or something, it's perfect. To each his own. So if I would have that, I may do that, especially if I have some stubborn seams. Do you not feel the need to backstitch over the very first partial seam? I do it because I do go over the end. So I do go over the end by about at least 1/4 inch. So as I said, but in the first seam, I don't backstitch, no. No need. But you obviously want to make sure you put that needle down about 1/4 inch over so that you can kind of secure that intersection.
Hi.
All right, any more questions on stitch length? I use my regular 2.5. You can, if you want to, if you feel like you can go down to 2, but I'm good with the 2.5 actually. That's a good question. Jackie says she's so glad she waited to put her squares together. That's good. Always good to wait for those tips because it's really going to save you some time and headaches, maybe. Yeah. Seam roller, yes, I've never used a seam roller. Those that are used to that, those work great. There's also just little flat tools so you can push those finger pressing tools. I feel like my fingers work really well too. Actual fingers. All right. Let's see.
Thank you.
All right. I think there's no more questions. Well, that's great. We like that when there's no questions. That means. So we have 2 weeks now. So you want to complete all your blocks. Whether you're making the original or the 2.0, you want to finish all your blocks. So in 2 weeks, on May 9th, right? Yeah. I will do a demo for you to finish if you're just making the original, some tips on that, and then maybe some alternate plain things to do. And then I'm going to give you the option to do version 2.0, which is we're going to do the folded corners on the four corners. So these would kind of become the strip twist wheels. And so you can wait and see if you want to do that, or you can continue on because you can make the decision then. So that will be on May 9th, sorry, in 2 weeks from today. Will be our folded corners. I'm going to show you a couple of different methods for doing the folded corners. And so you can wait and see, and you can decide then if you want to do 2.0 or you want to stick to just the original. I'm not really understanding. The pattern called for 13 win? I'm not sure. So check the pattern again. It should be accurate. So maybe re-download it. There will be square up tips next time. Yes, so you really shouldn't need to square this up because we cut it exact. So if you do feel the need to square up this block, you can always go down to a smaller size block because it really won't affect the look of the block. All right. Any more questions? All right. Well, I'm excited to show you some new fabrics because we have two to show you today, and the first one here is a beautiful spring colors, yellows. I know I always am excited to see yellows in the spring. So this line is called Belle. This is by Wyndham. So it's beautiful because it's really just yellows and grays and white. So just the yellow being the main color really gets to shine. And this is a beautifully bright yellow color. It does have a few shade differences, which I like. So this beautiful leaf print with the dark gray leaves. And then we have a little bit lighter yellow here with a scroll. Gorgeous, and with some white in it. And then we have just a texture, tone on tone, with multiple shades of yellow. So it has even a little bit of gold. And then we go into the gray. So we have 4 yellows, and then we have the grays. This beautiful little bit of a typography and floral on the light gray. Lots of depth to this print. And then the overprint of the flowers, and then little butterflies. And then we have a little bit darker yellow, darker gray, sorry, with yellow flowers, small floral. And we have the leaves again in the dark charcoal gray with a white. And then we have a large floral with just the charcoal and the big white flowers. So then we go into the lighter tones again. We have the light, very light gray with the yellow flowers and the butterflies. And this beautiful print, it's a very light gray with a beautiful, gorgeous yellow flowers opposite to this yellow one. So you'll see the colors completely flipped. We have a small floral on the light gray. And then we have this beautiful black and white scroll. Well, it looks white, but it's really a light silvery gray. So if you remember our Color Club Silver Bells, it's kind of that hue. A very light gray works really well for backgrounds and things. So this is Belle. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous, so classic. So we're going to start with the yellows with the fabric pull. I tried to do kind of a shade difference in the yellow so you get some depth because you have depth in these colors. So I'm starting with the darkest one, the Deco Stitch in the Sun Glow. I like it because it has the dark and then the light textures on there. The medium one, the lightest one is going to be this Bumbleberry Sunburst, a really beautiful bright yellow, but it has the darker shades too. And then we have the Sugar and the Sunshine because it has white little spots, irregular spots, so it works nicely in with everything else. For the grays, I started with the Seeds and the Smoke because it's a perfect matching gray, and then it has that lighter little bit of texture on it. The Spectrostatic in the Shark Skin is also a perfect shade with a little bit of white specks. And then we have the lightest gray here, the Shimmer and the Radiance and the Frost. So this was part of our color club back in December. So it's a great match there. And then also I pulled the Spectrostatic Mimeograph. So it has the black specks that really ties in with the ones that have black in it. I did pull a black and white. So as far as a black, if you wanted a little sharper accent, I did something with a little charcoal. So the Bumbleberries in the basic black is not a pure black, so it has a lot more warmth. And then just the canvas and the whitewash. It's going to be your white, so it's going to tone well with these light grays, but really stand out as a background as well. So this is Belle by Whistler Studios for Wyndham. Absolutely beautiful. So I love these fresh yellows. They're sometimes hard to find in fabric. Not many fabric companies do those really bright ones. And so when I see it, I always like to get it. They always sell well. All right, so our next line we have to celebrate because if you've been watching my show for a while, you probably know that I love Halloween. So we are celebrating because the first Halloween line of 2023 has arrived. Yay! And this one has a really fun name, and it's really cool and unique. It's called Queen of Ween. Queen of Ween. Hey! But the funny thing is, as we were reading the packing slip, and when you read Queen of Ween, it kind of looks like Queen of Weeing. So I don't know if this is a common word.
I'm not going to say it.
You gotta go take a wee, right? Everybody knows what that is. So you can decide if this is Queen of Ween or Queen of Weeing. Wee. Queen of Halloween, of course. So this is Janet Recker Frisch for Riley Blake. Really cool stuff. So she's, of course, very well known for her style. Large graphic prints. And so this is the first in the gray. So I put together a combination of gray, white, orange, and black. So starting with this one, it's kind of a light gray taupey color. But I love this. And then we are going to next one is just a geometric texture. These on black on the taupe. And then into the white. So we have this beautiful print, and you can see it's a little bit larger scale. So, but I tried to choose some of her smaller and larger together. Now she's also known for always having some kind or lots of typography in her prints. So this is really fun if you really actually go read it. The Whole Art of Palmistry. So you can actually read it if you wanted to. It actually makes sense. I don't know if you're going to learn much from this, but it's kind of fun. But I love using typography prints in quilts. I think they add so much fun texture. So this one is really cool. Then we have another kind of typography. This looks like a job listing, or a list of different businesses or products. Petrolina Preparations. Poison, botanical preparations. Yeah, I think this is really fun. We have that other small print again on the orange. We have the big scroll print here on the orange. And then we have, of course, if you're queen, you need your different types of crowns. So you have all these different types of crowns, which is very appropriate. I think I need a couple of those. We have the typography print also in the black. And then we have a really fun texture here with the scrolls and little stars. And the same print in the black here that we have in the orange. And then we finish it off with the last black print, which is black with orange, just little numbers. So they're like little cards or dominoes, reminds me of, something like that. So this is our Queen of Ween. So that's the bundle. We do have a panel. So this one is sold separately, but this panel is really unique shape and size. So it's like little cards. So we have the Queen, the Joker, the Jack. Here's another Queen. Let me open this up. Apple Queen. We have the Apple Queen and some few other fun things. So this is the panel. It is 10 different shapes and it's a rectangular shape. And so I can measure this for you guys just to see. But I think I've already decided what I'm doing with this. So the tight measurements of this is about 7 by 10.5 inches. So you can cut it a little bit larger or you can add to it. But if you have seen my tailor quilt, I think this will be perfect to cut out to replace some of the blocks. Now you might need to add to the length of them, which is easy to do. But I think this would be really cool to incorporate into a tailor quilt and then using all these wonderful fabrics. So I think that's what I'm taking home. Hopefully getting done at some point, sometime before Halloween. Queen of Ween. So let me show you the fabric pull. We can leave the panel over here. Starting with these taupes. So Astra and the Stellar is the perfect light grayish taupe, perfect shade to go with these. And then a little bit lighter would be the Crimp and the Sand. So it kind of bridges the gap between the taupe and then the white. Couple of whites. This is pretty much a pure white, so the So Happy Quilting Circles is a great match, or the So Happy Thread Toss, which is almost a white on white, still not purely that really neon white, so it's a great match. For the oranges, the Potion in the orange is a great perfect color for this, and then I love this texture with the Jack's Tangerine because it has a lot of yellow in it. And so this is a perfect match as well. For the blacks, again, I like not fully black, even though this is pretty dark black, but the canvas ebony just gives you that texture that's going to tie everything together. And then I found this awesome print that I think would be fun to incorporate. The black X's with the orange and gray and white. This looks like it would just belong here. And then I found, of course, a little Halloween cobwebs that could work if you wanted to add to this. And then a couple of ones that would work as like a plaid, the checks in the plaid. This one in the black, this one works perfectly because they're all so visually striking, these prints, so this one would be great. As well as the diagonal stripe in the black cat. So really fun Halloween. Let's get going on the Halloween. Yay! Celebrate our first line. Queen of Ween, of course, takes the cake, being first. Queen of Ween. Or Ween. Weened. I love it. All right. Any questions on any of this fabric? You can be sure to post that in the comments if you have any questions. But they are available out now. Just remember that the panel is sold separately. Now, we will have, of course, tomorrow morning, Colleen will be here with 1 Yard Wednesday, a special show. Very excited about this one. Lots to see and great prices, of course, on the 1 yard. So check that out in the morning. It's 9:30 a.m., 1 Yard Wednesday. And then, of course, we will be back on Friday. But I have a giveaway question. Let's finish it off with our giveaway question. So all I want to know is, have you ever sewn with a partial seam method before? So all you got to do is answer that in the comments. You're automatically entered to win a $25 gift card, which will be announced on our next show next week. Now, you can, of course, answer this giveaway question even if you're not watching us live. And that's the beauty of it. You can always enter, whether you watch live or not. Now, I wanted to talk about this Friday. That's Happy Friday will be Friday, April 28th at 12 p.m. Central. We'll be live here from Studio A. And then next week, Tipsy Tuesday will be a little bit different. Mr. HP is heading out on a tour, little tour, mini tour, aren't you? He's going to play superstar, rock star this next week.
I got some rock star stuff to do.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of rock star stuff to do.
Yeah.
So our May 2nd show, so next Tuesday show, will not be live, but we're going to pre-record some really great things for you, and it's going to premiere on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch it on YouTube, and if you don't like to watch on YouTube, you can just wait a little bit, and once we have aired it on YouTube, we will share it on Facebook as well. But it's a good idea to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Find that and make sure you watch that show, because I'm going to give you a great tutorial. We've got an amazing tip of the day. And then Colleen is also going to join us with another awesome tutorial. So, and I'll be showing you some fabric and things as well. Not going to miss out on that, even though we can't be really live with you. But you'll be able to comment and ask questions, and we can just answer it in the chat. We'll be able to do that, but not on the live show. So, the tour, where are you going? So you're actually kind of starting the tour here in Minneapolis on Friday, and he's playing with what they call the Minneapolis Funk All-Stars.
Yeah.
So you want to explain a little bit? It's kind of a compilation of amazing musicians from
Combination of musicians that have
played with Prince, right?
been produced by Prince, played with Prince.
Yeah. Paul Peterson, yeah.
Kelly Bean Johnson, drummer of the time. He's playing guitar. Oliver Lieber, guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa, who sang with Prince on the road. Dr. Fink.
Mm-hmm. He was in the,
was in the
Revolution.
We're going to have a ball.
It's fun. So it starts in Minneapolis at
Dakota
Jazz
Friday.
Club on Friday. 2 shows. Those who are local. Maybe we'll see you there.
We're in L.A.
And then L.A., and then Vegas, and then
Oakland.
San Fran, Oakland, yeah.
And back here.
And then back for Tipsy Tuesday. But that's fun. So, any last questions? I see that all of you are loving the partial seam. Made it easy. Of course, we make everything G-easy. That's our way to go. Stripology rulers, G-easy techniques. Quilting gold, right? But that's it for us today. I hope you had a wonderful have a wonderful rest of your day and your week. And make sure to check on Colleen in the morning. And I'll see you Friday. Bye.